And hello, everyone. Mike Arnold here, co-founder, Pat Trading Partners, along with Bob Iacino. What a day in Tesla. I hope everybody was tuned into the weekly options, the October 1st weeklies. 100 and close to 178,000 of the 800s going off. That was the big number. After that, let me just double check. I mean, before that, we had the 780s earlier, then we had the big volume in the 800s, and then we also have 820s. With that 100, close to 180,000, that became the target. Let's go to, we went through the upper channel line now, so technically this resistance is now support, so that's why I'm leaving it on there. Let me remove some of these past levels, but we already had this we had that 778.50 area gapping up there today. You see, actually running up there today, sort of a flat open. Sorry, that wasn't a gap. That was a flat open running up there, closed. You see that little resistance ledge pulling back, and then you had the options go nuts. So besides just using the obvious, which is why you should be watching those weekly options when we start getting the big numbers go off, especially at a certain strike, to use it as a target for intraday. What else do I want to say about that? This is your series of momentum bars. This is your series of momentum bars right here. Those are the kind of things you are watching for. Here's how the intraday levels played out. Let me see, can I take anything else off here? Let me go. I'm just trying to clean up the charts a little so we can make it easier to see. I'm going to remove some older levels here. Some older levels. Let me just key off some of these, since we're moving so far beyond stuff. Sorry, I just don't like to do stuff when we are not watching, when I'm not doing this together with you, because people say, what happened to those levels? All right, so this is simplified. We already identified that 791 area to 792.27. The 792 was the harmonic retracement from this all-time high. 791 was from last, when we did the projections up from the bottom of the channel to the highs on the 8th. So we came up there, and then of course using the 800s today. Gonna leave those levels on there because we haven't hit the next major area yet. We are through. We are actually right at that stopping point. We've finally, I think, yeah, we filled this full remaining gap to this close. The gap I'm talking about, let me zoom in. We had this gap behind, so we've filled that also fully. What else have we done? We have done just I don't know what we've done. So what are we watching at tomorrow? Let me go through the intraday levels, and then we'll go over what we're watching. Here's the intraday levels. So this was not a double bottom, by the way, because it's only reversing this move. This was two bottoms. Don't confuse double bottoms and two bottoms. That's for the newer people here on the channel. By the way, if you're new here, please consider subscribing, ringing the bell, liking, disliking a video or all the videos, and leaving a comment or 5. So why this is not a double bottom is this is the move it's reversing, and the targets all exceed that move, so you cannot use that. Now I'm just going to jump to the 15-minute real quick, because until we got up to this 11:45, 11:30, 11:45 time frame on the 15-minute, we didn't have a pausing bar. So the only thing back in time, and you'll always do a quick check for 15-minute pausing bars, I just wanted to show you that there weren't, so I don't have to keep switching back and forth. Besides using the targets we already identified, that 721.60 area, the 792.27, which have been on this chart for a while. That's why it's helpful to have those levels. Intraday, coming from the low, so that's the low, the 9:10 bar Chicago time, Central Time, that's where I'm located. Here was your first pause. So that reinforced again. You see this cluster that gave you 792.12, reinforcing it there. You got that nice little pause there again. Again, no 15 minutes, but that gave you the ability to jump up here where it hit that little cluster area 792, which gave you 795.82, reacting there with a divergence, a slightly bigger pullback. And bigger pullback, we had this little sideways action. Again, not a double bottom, just two bottoms. Okay? I have to keep reiterating that because I get so many questions. Was that a double bottom? Was that a double bottom? No, don't get in the habit of trying to see double bottoms everywhere you look. And then, besides really keying off that 800 strike price with all those options going off, this just gave me 798.77. You can't really see the number here. You can reproduce this on your charts though yourself and verify it. I don't want to move that levels behind, but that's where it is, 798.77, and we peaked out at 798.99 with a series of lower highs, divergences, and at least on the 5-minute. The 15-minute you see here between these last peaks, we had like triple divergences on the 5-minute. We had another divergence on the 15-minute after hitting that target, and then just coming back to the 15-minute rotation zone. Based off this action, what do we have for tomorrow? I'm going not from the most recent swing, but from this grounding swing, just because if we continue with these insane pushes, and look at those nice clusters. Didn't even look at those. I didn't even look at these at the end of the trading day yet. So tomorrow, let's go to the upside above 798.99. Again, 800's key. There might be still some resting sells there and everything, but then remember we had the 820 options also go off, so I'm going to be watching that strike tomorrow. 810s, which weren't really a, I mean, 810s had about 30,000 go off, but I'm going to see if we start going to 810s, but the 820s really, and we've already identified these levels. Look, we have 809 to 810.90 area, so we've already identified that with just the harmonics, and then we have a major cluster at 819. Above there, you're looking right around 841. So those are all the key levels higher. So what are we watching going into before that? You can start watching this area. We're slightly below that 790 post, so post trading. So I just watched what was today's official end of the trading bar, 789.60. We break below that, which is right at the 15-minute rotation zone. I'd start watching this upper channel line area, which is coming in around 785. So 785 would be my next area of key support. We have the 1 hour about 788. I'd really focus. All right, 788 to 785 is my first area of key support. We drop below that. This is where you got to look at all your different time frames. 775, 7. All right, this is nice. So the 4-hour rotation zone is about 771. The 1 hour bottom is about 775. So I'd go just right around 773 to 775 area as my next level, and then major support coming in now at 760. 760 with the bottom of the 4-hour rotation zone and this prior resistance area becoming support. So those are all the key support. Now what we've seen a lot of times when we've had these gamma moves on a Monday, we've seen some pausing going into at least Tuesday and Wednesday. So if I don't see options going off and we just start drifting sort of sideways to down, that not a real big concern. It's just burning off this really big overbought level. So you see how overbought we are on the 4-hour, just dipping out of overbought on the 1 hour, and technically this was a 1 hour divergence. So these are, it's end of momentum, but when I start seeing this after run up, that's just another sign that we're going to get a corrective move. But remember, corrective moves can also be, besides pullbacks, they can just start essentially moving sideways. So I'm going to start watching to see if we develop some kind of horizontal sideways move, letting some of these longer term rotation zones catch up, especially breaking above the top of that channel. I mean, that's these between Friday and today. That was, where do we start Friday? We started it at 746 essentially, and we made up to 800. So it's a very big move in just a couple days. Now, can it continue? Sure. Am I going to count on it continuing? Not necessarily right away. Daily is now again in overbought. So those are all our key levels. We've identified all the upside targets. We've identified our pullback targets, and we should be ready to go for tomorrow. Again, I'd advise everybody to, hopefully you all have the weekly options. Again, October 1st are the weeklies. Start watching tomorrow with the 810s and 820s. We get above 820, it'll probably just start rolling into 850s with the big volume. That is if we get above 820s. But again, don't be surprised if we get some pause or a slight pullback between Tuesday and Wednesday. And I'll talk to everyone later. Bye for now.